Remember, when disaster has struck, time to prepare has passed. SADMEX 2015. Monster of disaster has many faces, like earthquake, flood, tsunami, tornado, and man-made disasters like accidents, terrorist attacks, and CBRN. We cannot stop disasters, but we can arm ourselves with preparedness, because when disaster strikes, there is no time for preparedness. Devastating earthquake of Nepal last year gave a clarion call to develop an efficient disaster management and response system among member nations of SAARC. To address the diverse strategic issues of a multinational disaster relief operation and coordination in the SAARC region, the South Asian Annual Disaster Management Exercise, SADMEX 2015, was developed and organized by National Disaster Response Force, NDRF, in association with National Disaster Management Authority, NDMA, National Institute of Disaster Management, NIDM, Union Ministry of Home Affairs and Union Ministry of External Affairs. SADMEX 2015 was conducted in two phases. In first phase, an Advanced Coordination Conference, ACC, was organized and coordinated by National Disaster Response Force in New Delhi on the 3rd and 4th of September 2015. During this conference, representatives from SAARC countries discussed the modalities and requirements of the SADMEX 2015.
As we know, the first SAARC Annual Disaster Management Exercise has been scheduled in the last week of November this year. This exercise would be organized by National Disaster Response Force and is likely to be an annual feature to be hosted by the SAARC countries on rotational basis in future.
Meticulously planned second phase of SADMEX was organized in and around Delhi NCR from the 23rd of November to 26th of November 2015 by NDRF. 84 participants from all SAARC nations, including India, took part in this exercise. Second phase of SADMEX had three components. First, tabletop exercise or TTE. Second, field training exercise or FTE. And third, after action review or AAR. Second phase of SADMEX started with a formal ceremonial opening on the 23rd of November 2015. Director General NDRF and other important officials lighted the oil lamp. Wishes and words of encouragement from officials and important dignitaries set the stage for this 4-day-long exercise.
That all the partners who have participated and contributed to this exercise will maximize the benefits and return on investment. Place my special gratitude to the Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of External Affairs, National Disaster Management Authority and National Institute of Disaster Management for supporting me to conduct this first ever disaster management joint exercise involving all the SAARC nations of the world.
Our NDRF has been doing commendable job and they have been everywhere wherever they are required, and at the same time advancing their knowledge, imparting their experience with other bodies, and this is a good platform again to share the experience with the neighboring SAARC countries and to learn from our friends from the SAARC countries and to complement each other. And I feel that when there is a disaster anywhere in the SAARC nation, it should not be the boundary which will decide, it will not be the political dispensations, but the availability of the force and resources at particular convenient place should reach out. The political boundary should not come in between in terms of rescue and relief operation.
Coordinate, learn and take the best of experience from this very first exercise.
I'm very happy to be here at the inaugural ceremony of this joint exercise, which is being organized as per the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister. The vision is that this joint exercise is held annually by rotation in different SAARC countries.
With the vast experience and expertise that the distinguished delegates bring to these two events, I am confident that our region will be able to devise effective ways and means to cope with the aftermath of natural disasters.
Tabletop exercise was aimed at providing participants with an opportunity to discuss disaster response plans and capabilities of SAARC countries.
We all have to try to reach a consensus, but reaching the consensus is not the sole motive, because any idea which succeeds, which helps in saving the lives, is a better idea. Because it's as the old saying goes, nothing succeeds like success. And in these kind of scenarios, there cannot be one foolproof solution for any requirement. So there can be varying viewpoints, there can be difference of opinion, that all is welcome. So please feel free and discuss everything in a very open environment.
The time taken was roughly 15 minutes.
Tabletop exercise started with a briefing to participants about the structure and conduct of exercise. Then participants were grouped in 8 teams representing SAARC countries. Round table approach was adopted to execute this exercise. The moves were presented and the participants were asked to write their comments on all the requirements of each move in the prescribed format. After completion of the requirements of each move, the teams were asked to present their responses in the plenary session of each move.
Assistance received by the relevant ministries and agencies and relevant ministries should confirm and certify.
Whatever assistance is required, it is circulated through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the local embassies.
This process was repeated till completion of the requirements of Move 3.
All these processes teach you a lot. Every step teaches you a lot. So I'm sure all of you will learn a lot from each other's associations and each other's company.
Most remarkable feature of SADMEX 2015 was field training exercise focused on collapsed structure search and rescue operation.
Manpower is required to shift the load.
It took place on the 24th of November 2015 at NTH Ground, Ghaziabad. All responders of the host country and the teams of the SAARC countries participated in the exercise. Main objective of this exercise was to conduct and apply life-saving methodologies during disaster and orchestrate activities and involvement of SAARC countries to improve their effectiveness and efficiency. It was a meticulously planned exercise in every aspect. To create a real picture in the context of SAARC nations, a custom checkpost, reception and departure center, multi-nation coordination center, on-site operation coordination center, command post, Communication Center, Emergency Operations Center, Community Center, Base Medical Station, Rehabilitation Center and Living Tent were established by NDRF. Hypothetical scenario of this CSSR operation was an area around Ghaziabad, devastated by an earthquake, and several victims hurt and trapped inside collapsed structures. A response team from SAARC countries followed a planned methodology to conduct the entire rescue operation in the 4 chosen work sites by 4 teams. First of all, teams have to conduct site assessment and submit an assessment report. To prepare the report, team members interacted with local residents to get an idea of damage, casualties and trapped persons. Before the rescue team starts rescue efforts, K9 search is undertaken for searching the live victims trapped in the collapsed structure. When the dog locates a victim, it starts to bark at the site. To reconfirm, another sniffer dog is sent to the site. After confirmation, the site is marked on the pillar. In the next phase, teams decide and select the desired equipment for the rescue operation. At Worksite 1, few people are feared trapped inside building after it collapsed. Team locates all possible access points and decides to enter through a wooden door. Door is cut using drilling instrument. Team enters the scene and approach the victim whose leg is trapped under heavy load. Victim is extricated carefully. First of all, initial first aid is provided and finally, victim is carefully transported to hospital. At Worksite 2, 4 persons are feared trapped inside a collapsed 4-storied residential structure. First of all, unstable door is stabilized by applying proper shoring. Then pile of rubble is removed to make entry into the house. Victim is approached by moving over a rubble. Trapped victim is rescued and given required first aid. After this, he is transported to hospital for further treatment. And meanwhile, other team members continue search operation for victims and dead. Simultaneously, another team is conducting operation on Worksite 3. Here, few people are trapped, but challenge is this, that building is very unstable after collapsing, resulting in huge risk involved both for the victim and the rescue team. First of all, slab is stabilized through the application of proper shoring. Wall is drilled and victim is located using a camera. After finding the exact location of victim, brick wall is cut through and the trapped person is safely rescued. Other team members continue search and rescue operation for other possible victims. Worksite 4 is challenging because there is no scope for entry from doors, windows or walls, and several persons are trapped. The team decides to reach the rooftop first. A rope is anchored at roof by using a rope thrower. Rescue team reaches the roof with the help of ascender. Required machineries are quickly transported to top of the roof and victims are rescued by cutting concrete ceiling. Rope rescue technique is used to lower down the victim. Victim is immediately sent for medical treatment. After ensuring that all victims have been rescued, all the teams wind up and operation is called off. The second part of field training exercise was focused on chemical emergency. It was conducted by National Disaster Response Force (NDRF) at LG India Private Limited, Greater Noida on the 25th of November 2015. First of all, delegates from SAARC countries and observers were introduced to the equipment used during chemical disaster-related rescue operations. The scenario of the exercise was leakage of the toxic gas in the factory caused due to the collapse of the structure caused by a major earthquake and aftershocks. The factory workers were all suffering in the leakage site. There is panic and chaos in the surrounding localities. To handle this challenging situation, NDRF teams were called for help. The entire exercise was executed by the NDRF team. Delegates team didn't participate in the exercise. Whole exercise was conducted in a planned way. The detection team arrives along with all its equipment for detection of leakage. The rescue team then establishes command post, communication center, decon center, safety station, etc. Team going inside for operation goes through the safety checks and correct reading of personal protection equipment or PPE is noted to ensure that whenever level of PPE rises, team members are indicated to get out of the site. Team starts rescue operation immediately after entering the site. Conscious persons are given support of oxygen while unconscious are transported to hospital without delay. Everyone present at the affected site has to go through the decontamination process at Decon Center. Every individual coming out of the hot zone is decontaminated and given a hot bath, which helps to remove 90% of the chemical from the body. The rescue team also takes immediate measures to stop chemical leakage from the damaged pipe. The bursting point is sealed and absorbent material is spread around the pipe to soak the chemical. After the rescue work is over, the rescue team, along with their equipment, PPE costume used in the operations are decontaminated externally as well as internally in the decon post. When a rescuer comes out of the affected area to the decon post, he is given a powder wash on a shuffle pit. The powder absorbs the excessive contaminant from the clothes, which is then dusted off. Then whole PPE worn by the rescuer is removed carefully. The moment the suit is taken out, the person is decontaminated first. The whole area, including the area where the leakage occurred, is then decontaminated by the decontamination team. At the end of the operation, the team leader takes a review of its team before the final departure. After proper verification of the site, the decontaminated area is handed over to the civil authorities. Main objective of this exercise was to conduct and apply life-saving methodologies during disaster and orchestrate activities and involvement of SAARC countries to improve their effectiveness and efficiency.
47 participants from the 7 countries.
The last day of the first SADMEX 2015 was given the name of After Action Review. It commenced with brief summary of events in the last 3 days. Delegates from SAARC countries shared their feedback regarding their experience.
In this event, will definitely enhance the capacity and capability on disaster risk reduction, and Indian government has given special emphasis to enhance the disaster management capability and raised a dedicated force for disaster management named NDRF, which can be taken as an example.
SDMC should start functioning and act as chief multi-sectoral coordination center during any disaster of the SAARC. That was the main aim, and this is the main recommendation from Bangladesh team.
On behalf of the African team, I would like to thank the NDRF and Government of India for hosting the first South Asian Annual Disaster Management Exercise, in which we learned a lot from the theoretical and practical experiences during our stay in New Delhi. I also would like to thank all the teams from the SAARC member countries for their participation and sharing their experiences at this program. Thank you very much.
The arrangements made for this SADMEX was wonderful and commendable. We learned a lot from this SADMEX exercises that we had over the past 3 days.
We understood your command system very well, because for us, as I said, it was a new experience for us, and we have learned so many things. India is very much equipped and ready for man-made or natural hazards, and we are very happy, because if anything happens, the first would be India to support us, because we have experienced many times that India was always there to support us.
My suggestion would be, in case we have this exercise next time, the team should be combined. I think all the members of the country should be in one of the team, so that when we start discussing for the injects which were given to us and we had to reply, so we can, within the discussion, we can share our experience and all the SOPs which are being followed by the respective country.
It is got good opportunity for us to have this kind of exercise. So we have developed the National Emergency Operation Plan in Sri Lanka. So we are going to have these all these SOPs incorporated to the National Emergency Operation Plan.
There may be many ways to improve this exercise. Those issues we shall incorporate in future. In nutshell, this exercise is a grand success. We learned a lot. We had a chance, especially for the Nepalese delegates, we had a chance to verify our real action within the ideal situation. One thing we learned from this exercise, experience of Gorkha earthquake, is that there may be differences between ideal and emergency situation. So even if you are fully prepared, situation could be different than you envision. So we must be flexible during the emergency, and we must have second alternative and contingency plan in place if first plan doesn't work.
UN OCHA observer Ms. Kristen Knudsen appreciated the high level of participation and efforts of NDRF for bringing together the disaster management and search and rescue capacities of 8 countries.
In particular, as we think about how valuable this reference to the international tools and services is, we'd like to reflect that this isn't always the case. In a lot of other contexts, we too often see that countries see those international tools and services perhaps being limited in their use to when you were having international assistance come in. Whereas the purpose of consolidating that good practice and developing the standard is very much so that it can be implemented, adapted as required, and taken forward at the regional and the national level. So this is an initiative that we very much welcome and will support. The localization, it's kind of a buzzword for OCHA and the humanitarian community at the moment, but the localization of the tools and services is as important to us as to you, hopefully.
DG NDRF, Mr. O.P. Singh, concluded the after-action review session, and he talked about the unity of efforts in disaster management and importance of such exercises.
This is the advent of one SARC, one response concept. And despite this being just an exercise, everyone took the exercise seriously, just like it is a real disaster incident. The meeting of minds doing this exercise has resulted in creating a synergy amongst all of us, which gives us the necessary confidence for jump-starting the response press in the event of an eventuality. The display of each other's capabilities during the discussions, as well as the execution of various problems which were solved collectively during the course of tabletop exercise and the field exercise, have given us the strong belief that now together we can tackle the disaster situations in a well-coordinated and effective manner.
Highlights of the closing ceremony of SADMEX 2015 was the presence of Honorable Minister of Home Affairs, Shri Rajnath Singh. He was thanked for his gracious presence in the closing session. This was followed by the distribution of certificates and mementos to the delegates who had participated in the SADMEX activities. Honorable Minister of Home Affairs appreciated and congratulated NDRF for successfully organizing SADMEX 2015 and also emphasized the need of such exercise.
In view of the high disaster vulnerability of the SARC region, the conduct of mock exercises on annual basis is most rational. Given the frequency and intensity of disasters in the South Asian region in recent time, it is imperative for the countries involved to get together at the earliest to set up appropriate institutional mechanism for sharing best practices related to disaster management. Friends, this will give us greater strength, and interoperability will lead to standardization of processes and the procedure. The novel idea of conducting SADMEX on annual rational basis by the member countries in future has been the need of the hour. Friends, I feel that the national and the regional policies should lay more emphasis on good coordination, information sharing, and cooperation among institutions involved in disaster management and risk reduction.
The event concluded with vote of thanks by Mr. Rawat.
It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for the first SARC Annual Disaster Management Exercise. At the outset, I would like to express my profound gratitude to Sri Rajnath Singh Ji, Honorable Home Minister, Government of India, for sparing his valuable time to grace the occasion and highlighting the issues of the importance. This reaffirms our commitment towards regional and global unity and solidarity, proactiveness for multinational approach to deal with the disaster management.
This successful 4-day-long first South Asian Annual Disaster Management Exercise 2015 is another feather in the crown of NDRF, which has already earned a reputation for being an extremely committed force, dedicated for disaster rescue operations within India and across border. NDRF